Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. The US, UK, and now the Middle East, XRP. XRP tapping over $400 trillion to power the world. And the 50-day countdown is on. Oh, yes, it is. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $3.95 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 2.6, which is refreshing. We see Bitcoin 112,000 plus, Ethereum 4,100 plus, XRP number 4 spot 285. We're up 3% on the 24 and up 1.3 on the 7-day. Looking at the range of price between 278 and 290. We will keep an eye on it as we move through it. I want to tell you about iTrustCapital's new PCA, ladies and gentlemen. With the closed loop system, your crypto transactions stay secure, no external wallets, no unnecessary risk, just a trusted way to buy, sell, and custody with confidence. That's what you're getting here with this new PCA. And by the way, if you haven't tried out the IRA, what in the world are you waiting for? It's the best crypto, gold, and silver IRA on the planet, bar none. And by the way, in the PCA, you get all the access to the same assets. So if you want physical gold and silver, you can get it in the PCA too. Look, don't mess around because the opportunity is sitting here waiting for you. And if you're wondering like, hey, I'm looking for a place to long-term hold my assets because I'm not a trader. The PCA is built for you. It is built to remove that attack vector from your crypto holdings. That's the deal. And they do this by only allowing you to cash out to cash into your US checking account. It can go no other place. So God forbid if you were hacked because you did something wrong on your end, that's the worst thing that could happen. Now, you want to start getting that kind of peace of mind? Just click the link, the very first link under any video that we have, or go to itrustcapital.com/XRPArmy and use the code at the bottom. Let's start right here. Mike Novogratz, look, he's turning around. The tide is turning. And I tell you, as we get closer and closer to getting legislative clarity and all of that signed into law, the maximalism, the tribalism in this space is going to start to go away. And you're starting to see evidence of it here.
The resilience, I didn't think XRP would last after the lawsuits and it did. And it's stronger. It's actually been the best token you could have bought post-election.
Yeah. In the last 12 months, in fact, Michael. So there it is right there. And you know what? We'll see where that goes from there. Here we see there's no turning back as just in 1.7 trillion Morgan Stanley invest in crypto infrastructure firm Zero Hash. And no turning back, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see evidence of that on the global stage. Qatar National Bank, QNB Group, has adopted JP Morgan's blockchain platform to process US dollars corporate payments. That's in the Middle East. And so is this. Just back in the USA is the interim head at the CFTC, Commissioner Pham, proud to finish the greatest roadshow ever. You know what roadshows are? Roadshows are what are referred to as what a company does a couple weeks before they IPO. She refers to this trip as a regulator as the greatest roadshow ever. Invest in America. Tens of thousands of innovators in Europe, Middle East, and Asia heard it straight from me, she says. With regulatory clarity on crypto now, America is open for business. Come invest, hire, and build. This is remarkable. Then we saw this post from President Trump. We have a real chance for greatness in the Middle East. All are on board for something special. First time ever, we will get it done. What will we get done? Then this news broke. Remember this? This has been out for a while, but nonetheless, this is exciting because I'm tying it in and going, could this have something to do with the new monetary system and the fourth industrial revolution that we're moving to, I believe that the U.S. Treasury Secretary refers to it as a grand economic reordering. Sharia Review Bureau, the SRB operating under the Central Bank of Bahrain, which is partnered with Ripple, has officially certified that XRP meets Sharia compliance standards. This is $2 trillion Islamic financial market that it has access to because it's Sharia compliant. And we just had the head of the CFTC and President Trump come back and declare that we have an opportunity for greatness because they just finished the greatest roadshow ever, announcing that crypto innovation is to be done in the United States, which will be the crypto capital of the world. I got to be honest, I think all of it ties in. And so does this for me, at least. I'm not asking you to believe it. Ripple teams up with the US and UK authorities to push blockchain innovation and international policy alignment. That's what they're doing in Asia. That's what they're doing in the Middle East. That's why the head of the CFTC is there, right? Or just got back from there. We got to remember, it was Cassie Craddock who sat there with government officials from the US and UK. We have to remember the UK is a gigantic financial hub for the world. So bringing in crypto into this innovation into the financial markets makes perfect sense why she was there. And we also, at the same time, get the announcement from the CFTC before she goes over to make that road trip, the best road trip ever, right? The greatest road trip ever is how she said it. The CFTC launches an initiative for using tokenized collateral, including stable coins in the derivatives market. Ondo Finance responded to that by saying the public has spoken, tokenized markets are here, and they are the future. Caroline Pham, the acting chair of the CFTC Commodities Future Trade Commission, announced an initiative that permits stablecoins and tokenized U.S. treasuries to serve as collateral in the derivatives market. The lines between traditional and tokenized finance are disappearing. The notional value of that statement, allowing that, is in the hundreds of trillions of dollars. Just the swap market alone is $400 trillion deep. Just the swap market alone is $400 trillion deep. So if you're wondering where we're getting the liquidity from to move to this new digital on-chain economy, to supply the world with the kind of flow and money flow and liquidity it would need, well, I think you would need a roadshow to Asia, the Middle East, the US, and the UK, and everywhere else involved. That's what we're talking about here. And you need a bunch of liquidity to serve a world of that size. That's why I believe also Ripple bought Hidden Road so they could get Hidden Road licensed and approved with the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, which has over 2 quadrillion that it settles each year and over 100 trillion that it can tokenize in a matter of seconds. Don't believe it, it's still true.
DC has in this model is we are the record keeper for quadrillions of dollars of transactions, but for fundamentally assets under record, approximately $100 trillion worth of assets. So unilaterally, without the need to engage anyone else, we can actually make it possible to tokenize $100 trillion worth of value. No one else can do that efficiently. So we have both a right and a responsibility to do that effectively for the financial markets because it unlocks so much.
It sure does, and they can do it in seconds. And then we have real USD stablecoin, Ripple's $789 million bet on the future of finance. Well, let me tell you, look, that is creeping up very quickly to $1 billion. And I know it is relatively small comparatively to all the other stable coins that have been out here for years. But what I will say is nothing's more transparent, nothing's more clean, nothing's more highly regulated, nothing is more prepared to serve the enterprise financial side of the traditional financial system than real USD. And I believe they've been holding that back and keeping it that way. So it will be the most desirable when it comes to that. It's certainly not going to be Tether. I can bet you that one. And then looking at this, Swift launching blockchain in response to stable coins. 30 plus banks are going to work with consensus to build a ledger, a blockchain ledger. That's what's getting ready to happen. Now there's talk about Ethereum because it's consensus and the layer twos like Linnea and things of that nature. And I say there will be multiple chains. So good for them. Try them all. There will be. And you'll see evidence of it right here. Generating MT files, integrating enriched data for blockchain transactions. The experiment demonstrates that existing Swift infrastructure can provide a secure, scalable way for financial institutions to connect to multiple types of blockchain. It is a multi-chain world is where we're going, ladies and gentlemen. The experiment also explored the value of blockchain interoperability protocol for securely transferring data between existing systems and potentially unlimited number of blockchains. Now, even more evidence here from all this from Smoke Dog. Shout out to him, give him a follow. Swift's infrastructure allows financial institutions to connect to multiple types of blockchains, and Ripple is fully included in that ecosystem. To be sure, some alternative rails have been successful, from Rapid and Ripple to Wise and Air Wallets. But if you do a bit of digging, you sometimes find that they still work with Swift. There you have it. The proof's in the pudding. And here, starting tomorrow, September 30th, we are supposed to see the U.S. Treasury begin implementation to modernize payments to and from America's bank account. That's what we're looking at. This is where the stage is set. And we're still running on a 50-day countdown, but I believe we're in the grand economic reordering.
Some kind of a grand global economic reordering.
There you have it. That's the U.S. Treasury Secretary. And when I look at the roadshow, the greatest roadshow ever around the world from the CFTC and government officials, as well as the regulators and Ripple and Circle and others traveling along, it all tells me that this is a part of that grand economic reordering. And what should we see? Well, when we're in a 50-day countdown till the first ETF is going to be approved potentially, possibly October 18th, 50-day countdown. If they start approving these spot ETFs, and we already have one, the Rex Osprey, no reason why these shouldn't be approved. And we know the SEC has done away with the 240-day approval application process and has streamlined it. So there's no reason that we couldn't see a lot of these rolled out back to back or even all at once. So we're on a 50-day countdown to that deadline of October 18th for Grayscale, and then so on to 21 Shares Core XRP Trust, Bitwise soon after, Canary Capital, Wisdom Tree, Franklin Templeton, and there is a host of others to go along with this. And wouldn't it make sense to get these spot XRP ETFs approved and out there in the market just before we get the legislation needed, the market infrastructure bill and taxes to go with it, to sort all of this out the way we need it to? I think the timing is remarkable. And I think this next quarter, this Q4 for us, is going to be remarkable. And I think it sets us up for an incredible 2026. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.